start streaming. I hope. Good evening. Hello. I hope that's streaming. I have no idea. It never actually tells me, but I can never tell. Hello, Francois. Thank you for joining me tonight. And Captain and Joey, who was here earlier as well. Thank you very much. Obviously, it's now the end of 2024. As we all know, it's getting to the end. Tomorrow is well, today, depending where you are in the world, technically. It's the last day of the year. Echo. Echo? No. Don't say I got echo. Don't say I got echo. That's not good. Okay, maybe if I turn that down slightly. And good evening, Ali and Twisted. Also, does that change it? Is that better? Yeah. For now, I'm just gonna completely volume down to mute me. Hopefully that resolves the echo. So it'll be. Let me know if it hasn't. I've muted my speakers, and these headphones aren't working, which is obviously why I'm not wearing them. Echo. Thank you. Why? It's picking up something, but I'm not sure what. You don't know, right? No, so echo seems to have gone now. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, as I was saying, it's the end of the year now, and we'll have a quick look back at what I've been doing over the year. Good evening, Graham. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope everything's resolving itself, especially regarding your slight shipping problems. But everywhere else is still good. So if you want to check out Graham's store, it's where I've purchased the incredibly large bear from, and it's also where, seeing as we are doing it, I'm looking back at the year, the night that I just finished recently in the Maryland colours, which has now been posted. So it has now been posted. So whoever bought it, if you wish to get in touch with me now, because I've done it, I've posted it. If you want to tell me if I've done it wrong and you expected me to keep it, or say thank you for actually carrying on with it, let me know. That's going to be awesome. But yes, it's been posted now today. Still echoing. I don't get why I'm echoing. I've only got a single source. Settings, audio. I'm not watching my own stream. I only have the control room open, which is what I normally have open when I'm using OBS. There is a very slight flicker in the background. I'm not sure what it is. Do you have me on your phone? Nope. And as far as I'm aware, this shouldn't have a speaker. So I'm not sure what's going on. If I do that, that obviously mutes me. And then I come back and I click cancel on there. I don't have two mics picking. Let's see what happens if I mute that one. Is that better? I've just scrolled down on the OBS and I've noticed there is a desk mic and there is also a mic auxiliary. So I'm guessing it's picking the two up. I've just muted the mic auxiliary. And that one. And that one. Aha, so it was. Thank you very much. Technical issues are all. So yeah, looking back, transferring over to OBS has been one of the biggest things, definitely for me this year. Hallelujah! Screams Ali. Yeah, it's been an interesting one, hasn't it? OBS, learning this and getting the Video Ninja so I can use the camera and talk to you all as I normally would when I used the StreamYard, and I tried EVMux as well, I think was the other one. I wasn't as happy with EVMux. Yes, I'm trying to learn OBS has been an interesting one. Good evening, Hadich. You have joined me for such a long time. How are you doing? I'm hoping that I provide adequate source of ASMR for you tonight, as you request from me. I believe that is my semi-contractual obligation to use to make sure you're bored to death to go to sleep quickly. And Dan is in. Good evening. I'm just gonna have a look and see if it tells me how things. No, that doesn't tell me anything. Right? Okay, never mind. So yes, Dan, Haid, Alison, Graham, Francois, and I think this is the biggest I've been talking to for ages. And I think Twisted's also turned up as well. Yes, Twisted has turned up as well, although he spelled Laz with an S. Come on, man, it's a Z. And Lee also. Wow, this is like the most I've spoke to in ages. So yeah, learning OBS this year has been interesting, and sorting out the echo this evening. Not having my camera set up as I normally would do, not helping. So if I'm actually going back and looking far enough, I said I was going to clean brushes as well while I was doing this, because I do need to. I noticed I have a lot of dirty brushes and I need to resolve that issue. So thinking back to January last year, and I was looking up on the channel. Last year I actually started with the buildings. They were just the two MDF TT Combat, not sponsored, two MDF Ruined City buildings, and it's when I started bricking them up. That's how I can't. I'm thinking about it now. It doesn't even. It feels like even longer than that I started doing them. So I have actually dug them out. And so yes, it's when I started these. Now, obviously, at the moment, because I'm running on OBS, I do have a higher quality camera. So these have never actually been on 1080p on video before. So this is what I started in January. And obviously, it took a good couple of months, and it took it through to March in total to get them all done. And these were the two ruined buildings. That I started in January. No way did I think it was January that I started these. I thought I did these like last year. I thought I did these in 2023. Apparently not. I didn't. And obviously that's the one that's more set up for a Dungeons and Dragons style, so it can have a roadway set up next to it. It's not as big as a footprint. And you've got the 40k version, which is the larger one. Take care, Lee. Have a nice night, mate. Ooh, new floors. Right. I was talking. Yeah. And we've got the more 40k one, which is the barrels, barricades, and more open, so you can fit units in. Probably should have given these a proper dust off before I brought them up, but never mind. And it's the only one with a bit of this stuff to make it fit into the 40k universe. And the barrels, well, a single barrel cut in half and glued at happy angles to make it look like it's two barrels in the barricades. So yeah, there was the two. That's how we started the year, which was, yeah, totally took me by surprise when I was looking back earlier on. Sorry, who's getting a new floor? Right, Dan, you're getting a new floor. Okay, fair enough, dude. But yes, thank you for dropping in, and look forward to a present in the next couple of weeks. A tuck-proof floor. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm just going to catch up on. Yeah, I don't think there's any such thing as a tuck-proof floor. That dog looks like it'll just tear through anything. It's a boundary dog. Now go. Where was he up to? Oh yeah, I did the buildings last year. I also did the Tyranid army. Now, I could sit here and drag every single one of them out, and that would take up at least an hour to go through them all. So I'm not going to bore you all through that. If I remember rightly, what I've painted this year so far and completed was a 2,000 point army ish. So I think we managed to get done 2 Norn emissaries, or 2 Norns, 2 Scream Killers, or 2 Leviathan box sets for the Tyranids, as well as what's he called? The new Neurolictor that you've got. Yeah, so I've got a few of the newer units. The one thing I'm still gutted I missed out on though is a Hive Tyrant. You ordered, the made to order. See, I do like the GW terrain. The problem is to get a full board of it. You're looking at about £300-400 just to get a good enough selection to go, right, now I can actually build the good 3-story building that it wants us to do for line of sight, which will stand taller than this. It'll stand about yay high. They do stand quite big. So this is only I can never find a tape measure when I need it. I can put my hand on it just every time when I don't need it, but as soon as I need it, it's disappeared into yonder. I'm pretty sure this is 6 inches, and the Games Workshop one stands about 9 inches. So it is a much bigger. It is a much bigger building, but to get a footprint similar size to this, you would have to do the same thing, put it on an MDF board, and then build it out. Overall, you're not going to get much bigger of a footprint and much more cover out of them than these. And I think these were about £11 each in the MDF form, and then obviously a shit ton of work over the top when I bricked them all up. If I could have got Games Workshop scenery for that price, yes, I would have gone for it. It is absolutely awesome. Well, I went on the more conservative side for the pricing of that. 300 to 400 would get you enough for a board. Just, all right. £4,000 would get you enough to do several nice boards. I know someone who's got a lot of Necromunda scenery, and some of the layouts you can lay out with that is just ridiculous because it is like Lego. I dread. Francois, could you do me a favor? If you're on Discord, could you join my server just for the sheer purpose of posting me pictures of going, my fortress was done that. So I've got an idea now in my head of what you've used to build this fortress. And the fact that you've used the word fortress means you might have used Fortress of Redemption as well as several bastions. So am I right with that? Yeah, I'm not surprised. Hey, the fireworks are going to be, and you're going to look at another 3 days of fireworks, which isn't going to be enjoyable because my cat doesn't like them either. Although my cat's currently flopped over the back of the chair. Pardon me. Now, see, 9 Imperial Bastions. That's a lot of models. Where if you were to buy one or two Imperial Bastions, and if you were lucky enough to get, say, the old hill board, a couple of Imperial Bastions, the Fortress of Redemption, and some Aegis defense lines and things, maybe a couple of ruins instead, and you've got a full board of scenery. You've got enough to play, more than enough to play for 2,000 point armies. For some reason, this brush is not becoming clean. So I told you I am still cleaning my brushes while I'm sat here talking. So yeah, it was the Tyranids that I finished off next over the year, but I also managed to get the early starting of the Combat Patrol. So that was the first time I actually did a Combat Patrol review, but I think we did a live stream on both and then record some bits. I believe I did. So it was also my first foray into videos properly. I did not like that. That was a nightmare. Yeah, 9 bastions. 9 bastions is a lot of bastions. That's a board in unto itself. That is a themed board. That is a very themed board. You are playing on the home field advantage there. Which is why I kind of prefer Necromunda for scenery. Especially with the scenery set that they got, it can be made, as long as you don't glue it all together, apart from the bits that have to be, like the silos and the stuff that has 2 halves. As long as you keep all the walkways and the clips and stuff separate, it's pretty much like Lego, and you can build up separate stuff and new things every time. It's so much fun. Actually, that is something I've not asked, and Ali always been the one on prompt to keep me on key. We have just finished the festive season as well, so yeah, how was anyone's Christmas? I did not get any plastic crack this year, which was odd. He's on a 2 foot by 2 foot base. It's like is one of the 6 boards you put down for a board. It's huge. What's the made to order stuff today? Right, this is supposed to be a year in review. Technically, it's still a year, and at the moment, I'm reviewing what is the made to order stuff currently on Games Workshop, because Francois and Twisted both seem to have gone for it, and I thought it was just the red stuff redone again. Made to order. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the one I thought it was. Very nice. Very nice, especially because of the statues and the buttresses. But holy crap, that's expensive for what you get. That Imperialis sector for £100. That's stupid. Just those 3 little, and all right, the Sanctum for 50 is okay. The Basilicanum, is it? That looks just £71.50. No thanks. That's way too much. That is like way too much. Which one should I be in? That one. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's just. I bet it is, and I bet they are dirt fucking cheap as well. But as nice as they are, because I've gone for a certain theme now, it's going to be difficult to do it in. So I'm going to have to go I've gone more steampunk theme than gothic sci-fi theme, which is odd because I'm playing 40k, but that's the choices I've made. So having the bricked up buildings and then going to have pipework in them thereafter. In future, I'm going to be trying to build up into a more steampunk themed board. So there's going to be a lot more bricking up. The church is going to need to be finished off next year, which I did start this year. It has not gone very well so far, but I do have a basic skeletal structure. I daren't move it just for the sake of not destroying it. At the moment, it's in somewhere safe, and it'll be moved when it needs to be, and it will need to be when the camera does as well, because I won't be able to necessarily film what I do on the church from now on live streaming, because of the size it's come to, and I'd have to zoom out so much, and I can't get it on the desk and zoom out that much. So I may have to foray into videos again. So for those of you who enjoyed my videos on the combat patrol, if I did it in any way, like the out of sync sound, which I just could not get sorted, but I may be able to now that I've had a little bit more of a look into it. That should be more interesting, because it is going to force me into doing videos. The church is going to have to. So the project that I started this year, being the big church, that still hasn't been used yet, but may get used tomorrow night. I'm not going out, so I'm running a little small D&D session, seeing as children and all sparkles are staying in. So run a small D&D session, and hopefully at least 2 players anyway, to finish off the year. So I will be using the cats. So just before I start on the cats again, because that's what I'll be using tomorrow night, and they were also done this year. Oh God, they were something else. We're going to have to talk about them. I'm going to catch up on you guys on chat as well, because I can't see both because of the way I'm laid out, and I want to be talking to you. So brief catch up on chat. So Francois got the 2 foot by 2 foot board, which is enough to play a small game of Kill Team Necromunda on its own. Graves getting painting lessons. I don't think I can highlight messages on. I can pin messages, I just can't highlight them. So that's a bit of a shame. And Francois' 2 foot by 2 foot table is 3 foot top. How do you store that, Francois? I'm curious, because I struggle to store these little buildings. It's Lego. So Lego just doesn't like the sudden loud. Okay, loud noises just doesn't. That's poor Lego for the next couple of days, and I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for all animals around about this time of the year, because us humans are very ignorant. We just let loud noise and do all sorts of stuff. It's not nice to them. To answer, as I said, I'm going back to answer Ali's question. No, he was up at the right time. Mini Lads gets told not to come to us until 7 o'clock, and he can, to a degree, tell the time. So he knows when 7 o'clock is. He was also told, though, that if he had a stocking, he could open that beforehand. So the stocking was already open well and truly before he came and got us, but he didn't come and get us until 7 o'clock. So Mini Lads did all right, actually. Mini Lads well behaved himself. Sector Imperialis. Oh right, yeah, she was talking about that's what the scenery is called, or the new made to order for Games Workshop for those people who wish to go spend a hell of a lot of money on scenery. Very nice scenery, but it costs you pay for the nice scenery. Basically, you get what you pay for. It is good and it is nice and it is expensive. If you have a third-party retailer that can get it for you for a 15-20% discount, highly recommended. But with them, I think you have to get them from Games Workshop. It is a made-to-order, online-only thing. So that's not good. As Graham said, AliExpress does have a lot of recasts. Yeah, but that's right. Not building the actual kits and build is nice. It's very nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's also very costly. Francois, so scratch building may be the better option. Maybe I should do some. Hopefully, I can inspire you if I can do it to a high enough detail. I don't know if we'll be able to. Yes, when he says AliExpress, he's not talking about Ali in chat, by the way, people, if you're watching this in the future. And where am I up to? Right. The fact that you've got all 18 Primarchs, Graham, is quite impressive. Have you painted them all? I know you've painted Girly, man, but have you painted the rest yet? Have you even put them together? And I know you're a busy man, but come on, you've got models. Slay the grey dude. Get rid of that pile of shame, turn it into a display. 3D print an emperor and recreate the Council of Nicaea or something. Although I don't think they were all there, were they? Or were they all there? I think that's the last time they were all together, weren't it? Before the horrors went and started sucking Slanesh off. And tromboning Zinch. Fisting Khan. And getting pegged by Nurgle. Oh, because he had little daddy issues. Was. You say he's the most charismatic. I bet he got bullied and that's why he turned to chaos. Anyway, enough of that. Ooh, now that does sound nice, twisted. Doing a border patrol table. Ooh. That. Yeah, I've seen a few on Pinterest and other places like that. I've definitely been like, if I can build up the 2x2 boards and just, the plastic boards that GW done for Necromunda, and just start them as the basis and use one of them and just build it up and 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 just do it as like a single section of hive just with the layers. That'd be quite interesting. Yeah, easily. If it's a 2x2 and it's 3 up, as long as you've got multiple levels and ways to easily play Kill Team or Necromunda on there. See, now Francois is bragging because he's just got a good board, whereas I've got 2 pace tables currently in the room behind me, just there. And I have to pull them out and set things up. It's nice when you've got a garage. I haven't got one. I wish I did. Oh yes, you're going on that painting course, aren't you? From Siege Studios, is it, Graham? It was you, right? Excellent, Alex. So it was Ali. Thank you very much. I had a suspicion, but I wasn't 100%. And as you said, no, you didn't do it. It's like, well, who the Nora did that. So Ali, excellent. I'll let Dan know it's a little present from both of us. Then I'll send him a message after the stream because I'll know he'll be awake. He's 5 hours behind now. I've not even caught up, and everything was. Chat's going way too quick for me. You park the Toyota just outside the garage. Use the garage for your gaming room. That's all. Right. So it's not C Studios. He's not using that for a paint guide. So yeah. Right. So I believe I've pretty much caught up in chat now, when everyone else has read in the fact that Francois got a bunker, and I can say it is from both of us from Ali. Right. Thank you very much. So yeah, the Tyranids were a lot of the work, and they did take a long time, along with, I believe this year was also the Necrons that I did for my friend. It was his 40th in May. So as I just finished the Tyranids, I just got to what I thought was going to be the end of the Tyranids. I've still now got more because of the Combat Patrol magazine, so I am going to have to catch up on them next year now. So there will be another Tyranid and Space Marine stream, of which I already have the Chaplain on a bike, which is going to be out in a few weeks. If you are going to collect the Combat Patrol, that will be available for $9.99 in the UK. That's a £26 model from, I think it is from Games Workshop. Absolute bargain. Good evening, Kirsty. Hello. So yes, it was my friend's Necronami. Now that was a torturous labor. 50 warriors was an ordeal to do, even though it's very simple. It was the added detail to give them the glowy weapons. Yeah, that was something I should have looked at in a different manner. I maybe should have just light white spray, painted light blue spray over a small section, and done the extra work on that. Not happy. I think I'm going to have to ask for them back from him one day and go, can I redo some of it? Because I'm not 100% happy with them. They were satisfactory for what he wanted, but yeah, I'm not happy. So you may see more Necrons as well, but you will not see them from Combat Patrol, in case you were wondering that. I have a cleanish dry brush now. Next brush that I should clean while I'm trying to remember what I did this year without having to flick over screens, because that would require me turning over to things, and I completely lose track of chat if I do that. And I'm going to have to, because I forgot what else I did this year even. God, this year. And I've just forgotten how to get to my channel. There we go. All of which have been live, so I might as well go to that. We've got to finishing the Tyranids. Did we also finish off the hills this year? going to have a look now. Yes, we did. Wow. I've actually managed to get quite a fair bit done this year. I didn't think I got many things done. So along with the buildings, I did manage to get the set of hills finished as well. I'm gonna have to do this properly and do it a full display of something. At least set up the buildings with the Tyranids on with the hills and do something if I can. I'm not very good with camera work, so I may have to get some help from one of my children and see if they can help me set something up. So yeah, it was a lot of terrain this year. No worries, Francois. We shall see you when you get back. Yeah, pants I suppose are optional if you walk around the house. Depends if there's children up. If there's children up, then yeah, put some pants on. If there's not, then yeah. As long as you're quick, you should be okay. So yeah, a lot of scenery done this year. A full set of at least 5 hills and 2 full sets of ruins, as well as a full 2,000 point Tyranid army. That's not too bad. That's not too bad because that's 40 termagants, 22, I think it is, Neurogants, 2 Neurotyrants, yeah, 2 Psychophages. I think he ended up with 9 Von Ryan's Leapers done, as well as the Neurolictor. And then, obviously, the large monsters that I mentioned earlier, which make up the 2,000 point force. It's not too bad at the moment, the weather, Ali. The weather it's not raining, it's cloudy, but it's not raining. So it's a win for me. I hate doing this. I usually end up wearing a hole in my hand doing the paintbrush cleaning. Pardon me. Yes, my neighbor's father's round from Poland and has given me some whiskey. A lovely man. Barely understand a word he says, but lovely man. And as I don't usually drink, it's whiskey. Much prefer to drink whiskey than lager, though. So anything that's not as gassy, really. I see you've got grey, wet, cold, misty, and foggy twisted. Oh, lovely. Graham, do not go south of that border, my friend. Do not go south of that border. They're all fucking tossers. They are. Don't go south of the border. Don't go south. Stay north. Stay north where the people are friendly. We know right's right. We'll call you a dickhead if you're being dickhead. We'll have a laugh. We'll have a joke. But we'll also not see you fucking go home or go without. So stay north. Don't go down south. Don't do it. Bunch of southern bloody ponces. So what else did I get done this year? I'm trying to do this a lot of memory, I know, because I'm also cleaning brushes, and which means I can't use the mouse and doodle about with stuff. Don't complain about that little bit of warmth. We're just seeing the cold bits coming through next week. It's gonna plummet. I am not looking forward to it at all. Essentially, as the new year starts, we go from like 8 degrees down to 1 degree. It's like, Happy New Year, freeze your balls off. Woo! No snowmobile. That sucks. So after all the terrain and after the Tyranids. Oh, I tried Gunpla this year. Oh, I bet that's going to cheer whatever the fuck he's called up. There you go, dickhead. You did a video about this. I did it 7 months ago. Go fuck yourself with your whinging video, whatever you called, knob jockey. I'm sure Graham knows and Twisted know who I mean regarding the person who did a whinging complaining video on this stuff, which is Gunpla. I think he's brilliant. I think he's good. If you don't want to paint, and so you're more interested in the putting together and you want the more paint by numbers style building, these things are absolutely awesome. These things are amazing because it is all coloured plastic. It's all done for you. So they've got the stickers, and then it's just clip, 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 snip, 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 clip, clip, and then ching, you've got a nice little movable little robot figurine. And you can get the higher grade ones, which are much more posable and dynamic. Excellent for doing dioramas and displays with. Yeah, I think these are a brilliant idea, and I think the Warhammer community will benefit from it to do some of this. Heck, I'm even going to let my friend use this as a Cold Star commander for his town if he wants. It is that cool. Yeah, Bill makes stuff. Yeah, that video. Everyone got up in arsey about, look at him having a whinge. Look, he's fun to fucking do. Shut up. Other people are going to do videos about it because they're going to find out about it and go, ooh, it's fun to do. And it is. It's absolutely fun to do. Even I built one this year, but I did mine 7 months ago. So way before Bill Makes Stuff made his video. So anyone's whinging, oh, you only did it because of him. No, I did it before he even made that video. Nah. And nah to him anyway, just because he was whinging in the video. Stop whinging. Oh. So that also means that where am I up to? So 5 months ago and 6 months ago, we're still doing the Necron army. But that is when I started doing the little kitty cats for all the cats and catacombs that Sparkle's got. Wow, that was 4 months ago. So 2 full armies, and obviously the Necrons was more than a 2,000 point army. You could select a lot more than that out of it. You had 3 Overlords, 2 Scarfet Lords, 2 Reanimators, I think, 9 Scarfet Destroyers, a heavy. Was it 1 heavy destroyer or 2 heavy destroyers? I think he had a lot in that Necron force. But yes, it was the start of the cats this year also. Let me just come back so I can read your. Fair enough. But damn it, I'm trying to get views, Graham. Fuck off. Pissing on my fire. You can't. Drama causes views. If Bill Makes Stuff realizes that, he'll start drama. There you go, people. How bitchy the algorithm was when YouTube doesn't want it to. People will search for stuff if they think there's something going on. I'm going to have to make this video private now because of that. Oh well. I'm not going to have to. Depends if Bill Makes Stuff even messages me. Which he will not. Why would he message me? Although he does run that Monster Mash. bash thing. That would be interesting. But that means I've got to do more work on videos, which, as I said, I'm going to have to start working on. So who knows, 2026, I may take part in that Monster Bash thing. Once I'm used to making videos a little bit more. Give me a year to try and make videos. Because this year's project has taught me one thing. Although I enjoy doing everything live, there are times when I can't stream and I would like to do stuff. So being able to film and filter out the audio there afterwards would be a very nice thing to be able to do. So hopefully over the next year I will look into doing videos more often. But that was looking back over this year. The cats, as I painted all 12 of them, as it ended up being, it obviously only started as volume 1 and just 6 cats, which is before I even knew that the colour scheme existed. So I didn't know. So I think I've done a different cloak for Hester. And I think Brooke is also done differently from his picture in the actual rules. But everybody else was done faithfully to what was in the book, I believe. And those 12 were actually a pleasure to paint, apart from the soul, the Persian warlock. Oh my dear God, that one gave me that one hurt my brain. That one really did hurt my brain. So I now know doing something that small, have a look at what it is first, and then have a better plan of what it is that I'm going to paint and how I'm going to approach it. The others were pretty simple and straightforward. That one just seemed a little overcomplicated. Being a warlock, they generally quite ostentatious anyway. So the sorcerers, but not in the same way the sorcerer was, but that was more through markings rather than just being, I want gold, I want to look fluffy and good. And yeah, it was definitely a different one. However, those cats were an absolute joy to paint. They were fun. And it was a nice change from Warhammer, because I've been doing a lot of Warhammer. Pretty much all year. Most of the things I've done, if it's not been scenery, has been Warhammer. Whether it's been collecting from magazines, which I think was a few Stormbringer issues in there. I think I started the Goblin Army, or the Goblin Gang, should I say, that I'm going to be using for D&D. That's a possibility for tomorrow night. I could also use, it's a couple of possibilities for tomorrow night. That's interesting. See, ideas going all the time. But making videos is definitely something that I'm going to have to look into, especially looking back at them cats. Each one of them would have been so much better if I could spend more time on the cat, just film it and then edit it into a video. I think it would have been a much better process for that. Although they did get their own set in the end, where I set time aside just for them. Problem was that time I was testing out EV Mux, which gave me a 2-hour time limit. So I was kind of speeding through some of them. However, with the size of the models, it was easier to do than say with the bear, which just through sheer size and volume of area to paint, it takes longer to do. I've missed something in there. Yeah, Twisted, making video stuff. Making videos is very, very tough. Learning the transitions and the different scenes and how to use the software is the main thing. Once you've learned to use the software, is then construction of the video, but you should already have an idea of that in your head before you were learning the software anyway. Yes, they were fun to paint. If I could design my own model piece, what would it be? That's a good question, Ali. It would be difficult to pull off, but it wouldn't be a fallen angel. It would be a demonic angel. So it would still have white wings. However, it would have golden horns. It would portray itself as a benevolent being, but it would still be a demon. Or a demonic angel, at least. It's yeah. I would go for something like a demonic angel if I was going to make a model of my own. But how to do that, I'm not too sure. I'm glad your wife liked them as well. Twisted. Do us a favor, ask her to watch them on YouTube. Just one notch up on the volume. Leave a comment. Just let it run at half speed in the background when she's doing nothing. That'd be awesome. Just helps with the algorithm. Literally helps plug the algorithm. It's weird how that thing works. But those 12 cats, they're gonna be fun to use as well, because obviously cats will using them as characters will be quite different to using a standard rogue, which you're expecting bipedal human. What would it? It can 2 hands, opposable thumbs, open doors, climb ropes, etc. You have cats now. You don't have opposable thumbs. You are 4-legged. You have a mouth. You have a tail, and you interact with the world differently. So it definitely puts a different spin on how to run a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Definitely. I would like to. I've never actually thought about custom model. A few custom bits I would like to design. Eventually, I've come to the realization that I'm going to have to strip all my Space Marines back down and repaint them all, because I've got better from when I started this channel, and I started with my Space Marines. That was what, over 3 years ago now. Wow, that's a long time now when I think about it. That is a long time. Yeah. So 3 years ago, I started this channel, and I started with my Space Marines. Now I've obviously collected loads of Space Marines since then, even to the point where I've customized. This year, I customized the captain that you got with the issue 1, was it, of Combat Patrol? The Terminator captain. I customized one to have a Power Fist and Stormbolter as opposed to a Power Sword and Stormbolter. Still got the cloak and everything else because I still want him to stand out quite well. He will be changed off this base because the one with the Power Sword already has this base, so he'll be getting a different one. But I'd still like to run it as more of a veteran unit, sorry, of Terminators within the group of Terminators if possible. So just one unit of Terminators on slightly larger bases. Not because they have any particular better stat lines, it's just because they are a more veteran unit. It would be nice. It depends on the payoff, and depends on the video, it depends on the target audience, and depends on how the SEO picks you up and whether or not you can play to it. I'm looking more to use them to, again, because I use this as therapy, and you all help out with this so much. Thank you for this, because I get to talk with people about various different things, including YouTube, my hobby, and other things outside of that, like glamping. Thank you very much, Ali. But I get to talk about a myriad of different things. I get to go off on tangents. I get to spew things out of my head, or I just forget I've got a camera and I just go off on a ramble. It's really helpful, and thank you all for that. It's one of the things I am very grateful for. So, yeah, where was I? I got all mushy and bullshit then. I don't mean bullshit. I just mean like I went off on a mushy YouTubery tangent. So yeah, as no glamping in 2025, Ali. No glamping. So yeah, stripping my Space Marines back down, so they're all over to a better standard now that I've got more practice at painting hundreds of the damn things. I'm going to get even more practice painting the same hundreds of the damn things. But that will be done after I finish the bear, which will be continuing on next year. So we'll probably be the first thing mentioned next time I do this next year. Oh, nice. Nice. In fact, that's not a bad idea. If you find someone who can do that, I would be interested in that service. That's a very interesting service. Obviously, it depends on the quality. If they can do it, take say 3 pictures, front, side, and angled, just so they can clarify, and then 3D sculpt a face from it. That would be nice. You may need both sides just so they can, because the face isn't completely symmetrical, so they can get it all fully lined up. But that would be a nice idea, that twisted. It is hard to lose someone. It is. My sister's currently not in a good condition. I'll never have my same sister back, but I'm lucky enough that I can still go to see her, and she's mostly still there, so it's nice. But yeah, to lose her completely would be a different thing, but it would be a very hard thing. Especially since there's not that much difference in age between us. There's only about 4 years. So we are close. We are close. So it is something I can, yeah. So you've already got some sent over from the miniature tavern. So they are possible if they could do Cavill. Obviously, there's fucking millions of pictures of him out there. But if they could do Cavill, and they must have a minimum amount of pictures that they require. If you can scan them in as images and send them over, they should be all right. Just speak to Tavern and see what they say. Or speak to the Tavern, should I say. Now, there are a lot of 3D printers out there, and if it's just something like the STL file that they send off, there are people who will print STL files for you. Hint, hint, hint. Rogue's Den Hobbies do offer that service as well. Thank you, Twisted. Not much anyone can really do. So it's a state of limbo at the moment, which is quite not a nice state, really. But yeah, it's what we can make of it. And as I said, I'm grateful that I can still go see her. So that we count our small blessings, each and every one of them. But certain states of limbo are not pleasant. Ooh, that's 2 dry brushes done. Although it stained it a little bit. It should be usable for next time. So that's actually brought us pretty much most of the way up to the year. Wow, it's only taken an hour to cover the year. I suppose I did have big projects that took a while. As I said, 2 full armies, and what can cover as a basic full set of terrain. Sorry, Francois, but yours is overkill. I bet it looks beautiful though. Please join the Discord and send us pictures, please. Just because I would like to see it, please. It does sound quite impressive. I do like the big boards, which is why I originally started watching Zorb. He started getting a bit crazy, and the man started losing his mind. But I think he started smelling a little bit too much plastic glue, and therefore fried a few brain cells like those who glue from bags outside the hospital. But hey, indeed, hugs to all, Ali. Hugs to all and everyone, because we all have our trials, tribulations, our issues, our inabilities, our inner demons. We all have different things to deal with, which is difficult for some people to realize sometimes, that everybody's got problems. But because everyone's got problems, we kind of end up in the position of, yeah, I know you feel, sorry man, hugs. And that's how we all come together. Sad to say, it is never through things that are happy. It is always the tragedy and the heartbreak and the depressions that allow us to get to know each other. Sharing those difficult moments, knowing that others have been through something similar and can empathize. As sad as it is to say, it is the darker moments in life that show the brighter side of humanity, shall we put it. And back to the dark side of humanity, we have 40,000. I don't like cleaning these little small brushes, which are usually used for the eyes and space marines. It does help not to feel alone, Twisted. I obviously have my wonderful partner who is there for me all the time, every time I need them. I'm hoping your partner is the same for you. There are some people out there who don't have that. They just don't have that support. I know many people out there who don't have that support, and I wish I could reach out to them and spend more of my time with them. Just because I know they need someone to talk to. However, I only have limited time to spend, so I have to choose how I spend it. It's something that plays on us, which is why when I spend this time, that people come to spend time with me, and you all run wild in the chat. You all run wild in the chat and talk whatever you are amongst yourself, and I'm talking to myself with whatever project. Most of the time, I'm not even looking up at the chat there. I'm usually head down or looking at this camera. As I am even tonight, just because I'm comfortable like that. I'm actually laid back in my chair. I've set the thing back. I'm using the cushions. I'm chill tonight. If you haven't already guessed, I thank you very much for that, Ali. And I do. I reach out. I speak to you. Although you do check up on me usually before I get a chance to speak to you if anything's happened. As well as others as well. I've noticed that Twisted is quite quick to check up on me if my PC turns on, as well as a few other people do message me. I don't believe they're subscribers or watching. If you are, please say so. I don't want to just say your name on the internet without you being here and aware of it. I'm not that type of person, but there are other people on Discord who I both speak to for several different reasons. And there are many communities on Discord as well that have. I've noticed that a lot of communities around the Warhammer 40,000 or the hobbying side in general has a lot of mental health issue rooms going on with it, which is both good and bad, I believe. Yeah, I think it's both a good thing and a bad thing, because obviously it's a lot of people helping each other, and a lot of people who need help seeking help. Sometimes it can be over what some people may classify as mundane, and sometimes it may not. But it is people seeking help regardless of the level that anyone wishes to put it at. It's what they need to do and what they should be doing. The thing that scares me the most about it is a lot of the time it's just other people in there, where sometimes there are people who are genuinely calling out and need professional help, and it's those people that I feel more worried about. I don't have a health and well-being section in my Discord because I do not have enough people in my Discord to have a health and well-being section. It just be a general chat for now. Should my Discord ever get larger and it overtakes chat, which is, I'm assuming, why it's happened in these other Discord, that people talking about their own health and well-being and getting advice from other people is dominating the chat so much. So they create the separate room. Not that big. So I don't have that worry at the moment. So health and well-being is general chat for the people that are talking there. I completely understand what you're saying there, Twisted. With we all that's how we learn in life. We use our personal experience and we grow from it. I'm stating the obvious there. I know it sounds like I'm talking to you like I'm not talking to you like a child. It's just it is me. You know, I'm a dick. Yeah, we all do that. It's the only way we can. We take what we have learned, what we have experienced, and we process it through. And if somebody else has come to a point that we think is similar, we will suggest and we will try to help in ways that helped us, knowing that it may not help them, but at least it's a pathway they can take that in some cases better than the bottle or worse. Yeah, like how to focus away from pain and stress, how CBT courses, things like that a lot of people end up taking. It's the basis of the CBT course. Not that I've been on one or two, but still, it's essentially the basis of a CBT course, which is partially what this is. Not the hobby inside as much, but more the YouTube inside. It's given me something that's taken me out of my usual box, allowing me to portray the character Laz, which is only a slight embellishment on who I am. We'll say things more for comedic effect, of course, but that's for entertainment value. Having that camera in my face, as a way to put it, because it is looking directly at me, does put a certain amount of pressure. So with that pressure comes an expectation. An expectation not only from me, but to a degree from you, from all of you as viewers. So the expectation for me is obviously I've got to provide some kind of interesting, compelling, or something you enjoy watching, enjoy interacting with. With me running live streams, you get the chance to talk to me directly and I can respond to you directly, which is the added bonus. You can derail my stream completely. And I encourage you to do so. It's ask questions, talk to me. That's why I run live streams. And why I constantly it can just be a hello for some people. Just so they know that they're still thought about. I've dropped a paintbrush. The problem, and I don't mean it as a problem, or if it is a problem, it's a problem that I don't expect anybody here to solve. No, do I expect anyone here to have an answer to? But it's a problem for society. If there are that many people getting left and dropped through the cracks, so that they are feeling to the point where they've got nowhere, they've got nothing, they've got no one, and they are feeling on the edges of society left, then it is society's need to pick these people up. And if they are nice enough people, obviously they have to. Having a society comes with rules. It otherwise we don't have the society. Everything it devolves into chaos, and it doesn't work. So society requires rules. So providing people are willing to live within those rules, and they're not difficult rules to live within. There are some of them that are bendable or breakable, but there are some of them that are cast iron and set in stone. So, yeah, society should be able to pick up all those that are willing to live within it, so that everybody benefits from them. That is the point of what we are trying to achieve. I believe it's what we are looking for as a human race. I believe we have many obstacles in our way, languages, religion, cultures, land masses. There are lots of things that are going to stop this from being easy to do. I need to move away from the radiator when I'm doing that. Sounds like I'm doing something else. But we could aim towards that easily. But I don't think we can. And my original point, where was it? Oh yeah, as our spheres grow, especially as online, the amount of people that I am connected to now and I'm in contact with is much faster than what it was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. There are more people that I communicate with. There are more people that I can talk to. There are more people that can directly contact me. Many of which have been in here tonight. Not that I'm saying it's a bad thing. Obviously, I like communicating with you people. I didn't make a Discord so I could ignore you all. I know people watch me, and if they wish to talk to me, I'm happy with that. Hence, Discord, free one as well. Please join if you want. You don't have to, no obligation. Hit like and subscribe as well while I'm cleaning this brush off. But only while I'm cleaning this brush off. You still have a few more seconds. Hurry up. Quick. But yeah, let's get off of doom and gloom. So far we've gone through most of the year. Towards the end of the year, though, Combat Patrol pretty much took over most things that I was painting. Along with the cats. They took over the latter end of the year. Then I had a trip. Last month, was it? Yeah, last month. And I picked up 2 very nice miniatures. I say miniatures, one of them's not so fucking mini, is it? It's a great big fucking huge bet. But yes, I picked up 2 miniatures. One of which was, again, a delight to paint as a model. Fucking nightmare as a paint scheme. The Maryland flag, whoever doped up, drugged up fiend created that. No, go back and redesign it. That black, yellow, red, white shit fucking paneled design, no. Fucking awful idea. But I managed to get it done. To what I'm hoping is recognizable when it gets there as Maryland themed knight and horse in armor. But yes, that has been posted as well now as being completed. I think photos are already up on Instagram. I'd have to double check, but I believe photos are already up on Instagram. So that was completed, and then we came to the end of the year. We've had a small stall in combat patrols because I don't believe they're saying the next one's due on the 1st, which is the Wednesday. It's technically correct, is the date it should be out. Whether or not I'll be able to cover it is a different matter. I'm relying on my news agents, which I don't know if it's open on New Year's Day, with it being a Boxing Day and it being in a shopping centre, and it's a WH Smith, so I don't know. I also have children off school at the moment as well, so I'm definitely not going out in the morning, coming back and setting up straight away, because I will have mini Laz probably playing a game of some kind or on his tablet, making noises in the background that are not allowed to be put on YouTube because they're copyrighted. So I won't be covering the combat patrol. If I can go get hold of it Wednesday, I'll cover it Wednesday night instead of Wednesday morning. Or no, because he's away before I am. Like I'd have to stay up all night and cover it at like 5 in the morning, and he'll probably hear me and come down and ask what I'm doing. So it'll have to be a late night one to cover the latest edition of Combat Patrol. Bit of a shame, but it is what it is. I'm just hoping I can get it. I'm just really hoping I can get them. And this isn't where WH Smiths stop getting deliveries at my local one, because that's when they start asking for you to subscribe to the magazine, and I can't fork out for that at the moment. Not up front anyway. Also reminds me, I've not checked the Buy Me a Model, which is something else I started this year. Now, I know a lot of everybody else has Patreons and things that they use to help them get extra incomes. Now, I don't generate income off this, and I'm not particularly looking to. That being said, this is an expensive hobby. And with it being an expensive hobby, funds are nice if they can come in. And Ali already donated a small amount, which went immediately towards Big Papa Bear, because that is what it's set up for. The Buy Me a Model is not set up to buy me Games Workshop models. It is set up to buy third-party models. So if you donate and you have a specific third party in mind, please tag a note on saying, yeah, could you, this model, it costs about this much, could you save towards it? Could you put this towards it and get one from here, please? If there are just donations that come in that don't have any notes with them, then I can obviously put money towards it and go, excellent, I've now got enough, I can make that order. And I can paint the models that you want me to paint that way, rather than just building up my Space Marine force, which is what I intend to do anyway, because that's how I started my collection. I'm going to finish off my Space Marine chapter. How much gets replaced and proxied in from the Bear Army is a different matter. What I may end up doing is just making a separate 2,000 point Bear Army and having a Bear Army and my Stone Dragons, because I don't know if I want to put blue on that big bear, because I don't think it'll go well. So we're going to have to see. We'll talk to Sparkle, see if she'll let me order more bear units next year, and if she says yes, then I might start with 2,000 point proxy Space Marine force, proxy Space Wolf force. They do. Patreon do take a less of a percentage of what you're paying every month. The thing with Patreon is you have to opt out of it to stop paying. Otherwise, it is a monthly charge. It is a subscription, and with a subscription, I feel obliged that I have to provide something on a regular basis. This is lazy mini painting. I am physically not always able to do the things that I wish. So, if for any reason I fall short on providing what I think I need to provide for a Patreon service, then I feel like I'm doing disservice to those who are paying. If it is a donation towards a model, either a model of my choice or your choice, then it's something that can be built towards and kept separately. So it's a building up project rather than a monthly subscription. I understand Patreon would obviously bring in more money and more consistent money if people were willing to do that, but I don't think people are willing to do that at this moment in time unless I was to just do constant live streams on Patreon. That is about the only thing I could do at this moment in time. And I feel bad for those who can't make it. I know there's people who would normally make one of my Combat Patrol streams that won't be able to make this stream because of the time of night it's at. So, yeah, it is. It's Patreon and buy me a coffee, or in my case, I want you to buy me a model. The two very different beasts. They work on a similar premises. Obviously, you are making a donation towards somebody, but it's not a monthly subscription. It's not a tier-based thing. It's not a paywall thing because it has nothing to do with Discord. You have full access to the Discord. So, yeah, it runs as a bit of a different beast, which is why I set that up this year as opposed to looking into Patreon, which obviously I've had people telling me start a Patreon instead of YouTube won't monetize channels like mine. They won't push channels like mine. So my only choice if I wanted to make money off it would be Patreon. And as I said, I'm not looking to do this as a job. This is therapy. So money's separate. I've been talking about it for too long. But I have also come towards the end of the year. I think anyway, I'm going to go look at my videos. I've got to have missed something. The Space Marine catch up, which is when I finished off the Space Marine Force for the 2,000 point battle, but I've still been planning for months and need to. Sparkles even said I should do that as a birthday present to me, and we've still not done that yet. That's my fault, mostly. It has been mostly cats and combat patrols towards the end of the year, hasn't it? So it's been lots of Space Marines, lots of Tyranids, and lots of little kiddies. Oh, wow. Well, I've still got time. I'm not rushing anywhere at this moment in time. Well, there is, yeah. This hoping is worth a few dollars a month and then asking for it. I don't believe personally there's a moral boundary that's stopping me from asking for the Patreon at the moment, Twisted, and that is because I don't believe I provide that service. I don't believe I can provide that service. But if you can, because I've seen your videos are much different, or a much different setting than mine. For one, just the voice alone doesn't annoy people. You don't call people assholes and cunts. So you've big advantage over me straight away. So the Bob Ross tone that you've got going on, whether it be accidental or not, works. It's excellent. I wish you had leaned more into that way, but personal opinion. That's my personal opinion, and I also advise that you ignore the fuck what I say. So yeah. Good night, Ali. Sleep. Hope you sleep well, and if I don't speak to you beforehand, Happy New Year, because it is the last day tomorrow. Yes, it is still tomorrow. I've not changed over the nighttime set. Yeah, no, it's 5 to 11. I've still got a while to go. Well, I've still got an hour and 5 minutes to go anyway. Before it is the last day of the year, which is going to be fun. Oh, that was the other thing. Yes, I was coming towards the end of the year. As I said, I now have the chaplain on a bike, which I got through a Secret Santa. So I'm looking forward to painting that, because it is, as far as I'm aware, I just need the jump cap chaplain if he's still in the codex, and then I have all forms of chaplain, or at least represented. I can represent all forms of chaplain. So that was a nice addition. Obviously, I'm now going to have two, which I'm not complaining about. I do like having two, especially it is a really nice model. I do like that, and I do like the librarian in Phobos armor. It's probably my favorite librarian model, and I've got that model. I've got the Force Choke Dark Vengeance model, and I still prefer the Phobos librarian, even though I've got the Force Choke one. Having him as a firstborn is still irking me, so I'm going to have to do a lot of rebasing next year for Space Marines as well, isn't it? Strip the Space Marines and rebase them. And thank you as well, Ali, for supporting the channel. Thank you, and have a good night. Sleep well. Along with, obviously, the librarian. Usually nice to put in a unit of Stern Guard, which I pulled out as well, which are the firstborn, which I'm going to have to be working on hopefully next year, to put them on the larger bases and make them stand side by side with the Primaris ones. So that should give me 15 Terminators and 15 Stern Guard veterans. That's not getting bad for a first company now. I'm getting okay there with the first company. I don't do that often. But yeah, if you can catch me on the right song, I will sing. You just got to try and find that right song. Keep plugging away. You'll find them. You'll find the right songs. Don't start in now, though. You're supposed to be going to bed. And yeah, that, as far as I'm aware, Mr. Bear brings us to the year of the end. So that's it for this year. Why am I thinking there's got to be more that I've done? Hills, Leviathan box. Yes, lots of Leviathan boxes. Although I did do a lot of the Tyranids. It was the Space Marines I did at the end of last year, more than the Tyranids. I'm just making sure I've not missed anything. If you've got any favourite moments of the year that I've missed. Oh, the church. Yes, the church. Which, as I said, I think I did mention. Yes. No. Well, the church at the moment is precariously perched on a Dungeons and Dragons board. I do need to do a little bit shoring up and figure out how I'm going to roof it, because I would like a detachable roof, but that means I need to make sure that everything's quite sturdy so I can just lift it off. That way I can go inside it and keep the roof and the floors going. So I'm not sure how to proceed with that. It is going to be an interesting one to do, though. So I will be continuing that next year. but it is a little bit structurally unstable at the moment. So my first attempt at a very large building is not wholly been successful. Then again, neither was my hills when I first tried them. And I was following somebody's guide, and I had to go back to that person and say, how did you sort this fuck up out? And he told me how to sort the fuck up out. So I sorted the fuck up out. Thomas! Tom, how you doing, man? Welcome in. Thank you very much for the best wishes for next year, and Happy New Year, and good luck for you as well. Yeah, see you later, Ellie. So yeah, not structurally sound at all is my church, which is why I didn't bring it out when I brought the ruins out. All my models are currently put away about from Terminators, which I did do 5 technically. I've done 5 this year. So I suppose I could lift these off for now. So, and I did do one of the Space Marine Librarian in Terminator armor. Blake TV, how you doing, my man? How was the date last night? Did it go well? Just a yes or no answer will do. So yeah, I did do 5 of the Terminators this year. The other 5 were done, well, the other 10 were done last year. So some of these have been completed this year. Don't cover you. It does help. Which are at the moment up to base tabletop standard. So you can tell what they are when they go on the board. These will all be being stripped back down again. Every single one of them. All the paint taken off and all redone again. So that's going to be something fun. I'm going to get the game out of the way first with them. I may end up doing the same with the Tyranids, but Tyranids are complete at the moment. And about the only thing that'll stop me doing the Tyranids would be if I was to do the Bear Army. And that requires Sparkles' okay and approval, because I'm already going through the Combat Patrol every week, which is getting me plastic crack quite a lot. I think the next 4 issues is just models and models and models. So it's going to be another 10 Termagants, the Parasite, and the Chaplain again. So 40 quid, well spent on about, 70 quid's worth of models? Maybe a bit more. It's not bad. It is not bad at all. And now having it in front of me, I mean, seeing it as a picture is one thing and going, ooh, that looks like a nice model. But actually getting it in front of me and being able to actually see the details on it and get a feel for it, it is a really nice model. It does need something extra doing on around its base, though, because it comes on a mounted section to put him with his foot down. He comes on a big tactical rock, so it means you're going to have to do something around the base, around the black sections, just to help blend it in. So he may well be coming off this and going on a Cork and MDF base, just so I can put him on something a little bit cooler. I'm also not happy with the wheels. The wheels are not fully round like the old ones were, so you can't make them move. They're stuck in position. He's kind of half easy build. I should say easy build without the pegs. So he's got to be in this position and this pose. Welcome back, Francois. How was the feeding of food and puppy food? But excellent little model. I'm looking forward to getting my second one, even though I've not even started painting this one yet. But that's a lot I've done this year. It's also a lot I've got to catch up on next year. The amount of overlock that's come through from last year is ridiculous. The Tyranid section alone is going to be 20 gaunts, 5 barb gaunts, I think, another 6 von Ryan's Leapers. Technically, what are 5 primes, but I'm going to be running them as warriors. Another Librarian in Terminator armor. I've got a lot to catch up on. This year has overflowed with plastic for me compared to my past years. This has been a good year. And then, of course, we have next year potentially the talk of other editions and new starter boxes. So coming in 2025, maybe, is also the new edition of games of 40k. If not, it's definitely going to be 2026. And there are rumors are already going out it's going to be Space Marines and Orcs, which maybe when I bring my Orcs in on the channel. They are in dire need of some love. They are sat in a box in pieces at this moment in time. Some of them not even in the pieces they're supposed to be in. So that's going to take a lot of work. Strip them down and all the time when they come out with a new box set, I think. That should be fun. However, it is getting not too late, but it's getting late enough for me to have covered everything that I've done this year, at least verbally. I'm not that good with OBS yet. I'm not. You just had a full talking head video completely today. No camera calls, no separate, everything. I have fully lived up to the lazy mini painting moniker. I've just cleaned brushes and talked about the things that I've painted. I did show you some of the models. But as you can hear, my voice is not sounding too great. It sounded a little bit raspy now, and I'm going to need a drink. I'm also going to need one or two other things. So thank you, everybody, for coming to see me this evening. Thomas and Blake, thank you for joining me towards the end. Francois, glad you made it back before I got to go. Thank you very much for joining me. And Ali, who has now gone to bed, thank you as well. No, Twisted, I'm not doing a Wu-Tang Space Marine club. I'll let you do that. I think there are options out there for SCLs, but thank you for joining me as well and trying to give me ideas on a new Space Marine chapter. But no, I'm going to go Space Bears. Definitely, yeah, I think Space Bears are going to be the one. Which means Graham's going to be getting a little bit of business from me, which is going to be great. So thank you for everybody who joined me this evening. I'm trying to use my mouse and my hands just not allowing it to function. I'm pretty sure I've missed somebody at some point. Francois, Graham, Haid. Haid turned up for the first time in such a long time. I got to see Haid. I'm so glad. And I got to have some. I know I am sorry, Francois, but it's an hour and 40-ish now. I'm getting quite dehydrated, and I'm a little bit ill over Christmas. You can let me off on this one. You can. But if you want to have a whinge about me, call me all the names under the sun. Do so in the comment section. I'll quite happily heart it. But also in the comment section, if you've made it this far and like Francois, you're not entirely happy that I'm basically winding down the stream now. I'm getting ready to click stop streaming. If there are any moments that I've missed over this last year or your favorite moment this year, let me know in the comment section. Even specify the video. And I'm glad you found us also, Twisted. Yeah, it has been fun getting to know you and see you come in here and introducing you to all these other wonderful people like Ali and Blake TV and Captain Baptin and Joey Edibles, and I believe we had Demon Rebecca on here as well. We've had Lee up here. We've had lots of different people that have come through both on screen and through the chat. It has been a very fun year, and I thank all of you for making that happen, both on screen and off. So good luck to everybody for next year. Happy New Year if I don't get to see you in the meantime, and careful on the drink and drive safe.